and Peter Lynch, in fact, in his book, and the only book, in fact, I've read again and again is his book, right? And that is a very simple read. I will say to the investors, if they've not read, they should read this book. If you read this book and annual reports, and if you follow Scuttlebutt, then I don't think you need anything else in investing beyond that. All these short term, people, when we read in, so I've done my CFA, I don't say I demean that, but in the portfolio management thesis or all these big jargons that we learn sometimes limit our caggers is what I believe. And simple straightforward investing wherein you testify your thesis, you get the ground report, and when you get the whole hang on a business and understand the entrepreneur's vision, that sometimes is a multiplier of effect of wealth that you have. See, and I'm recommending this because I'm not sure I'm talking to people who already made 500,000 crores of wealth, right? See, this is always a question people ask me, why we should, what amount we should diversify, how many stocks we should have, this, that, XYZ. You see, if you've not made the first 5-10 crores of your portfolio, you don't need to diversify. I mean, you go there, take risk, make your portfolio 50-100 crores, then all these big jargons come into picture till your capital is reaching 1 crore or 5 crore kind of. And it's different for different people, but what I'm saying is that initially you should take risks, because then only the multiplier effect happens, right? Then you can maybe apply all the jargons of all the books that you want in the world and try to then de-risk. Initially, not taking risk is the biggest risk that you take, and then you try to read what is happening in US, this, that. These things don't matter when you come to our country, because our country has made astral pipe, like businesses multi-baggers, right? Commoditized businesses have become Apollo Pipes is a pipe business, a multi-bagger, biggest multi-bagger, in fact, of this decade. No one could have imagined this happening in the US, right, or in the Europe, right? So what I'm trying to say is our country is different. Our entrepreneurs are different. Their resolve is different. Their story is different. Also, our country has a lot of trust deficit. So we have a lot of commoditized businesses becoming almost brands and then becoming multi-baggers. So that's where I'm not sure whether, if you're reading a lot of US based investing books and you apply that in India, whether your journey would be that fantastic at those investors. So I'm a fan of Buffett. I'm not saying that I don't love him. I see his annual reports. We've learned a lot from him. But whatever Buffett did was in his country. Capitalism was full blown over there, and a lot of things were different. Here now we are seeing capitalism coming in full flavor. We didn't had that for so many years. We have a different setup in terms of the social fabric that we have. You need to understand that. That's why Scuttlebutt, I think, has helped us, because we understand कि गुजरात में क्या चलता है, महाराष्ट्र में क्या चलता है, चेन्नई किस तरह का मार्केट है. I mean, if you go to south, they are completely, so it's a different continent altogether, right? Their consumption patterns are completely different. Sari sold in big showrooms which are multi layered, and they do 500-700 crores of turnover from a single store in the south, right? Doesn't happen over here. यहाँ पे गुजरात में छोटी सी दुकानें हम लेके बैठे रहते हैं, right? It's a different culture altogether. Consumption that is there is of a different level when you talk about a lot of these things, and hence you need to understand the social fabric. You need to understand what works where, and that is where, for example, Govind Parekh has made tons of his money just concentrating on businesses of South, right? He's not gone anywhere. The Ramcos of the world, the Murugappas of the world. He, in a way, has had, companies which were, maybe when he was investing 5 crores of market cap and currently are maybe 50,000 crores of market cap. And he's stayed with them for so many years because of the comfort that he got being there, being with those set of entrepreneurs, understanding that what their social fabric is, understanding what their mindset is, what their integrity is, and then be rest assured that they have a long runway of growth. Because in India, there was the biggest chance of improvement, right? So he had his friends in the US. Many people used to approach him, why don't you invest in US? But he used to be very, adamant that here is the chance for the biggest improvement in corporate balance sheets, in doing business, and hence that is where the biggest reward has happened. And still our country will have a lot of improvements, and that is where we believe if someone's puts his head ground. You look around, right? Why? What is Scuttlebutt investing? A lot of people, in Surat ask me. I tell them, you have diamond, you have, jewelry sector, you have textile sector. इनमें से multi-bagger निकल जाएगा यार. Why do you want to go to try something else? First, find what is within you, right? In any city. In fact, Surat also, for example, real estate development is very high. So you will know someone who's a builder, right? You go check what he's using, right? What products he's using, what wires he's using, what kind of material he's using when he's building his real estate project. Then maybe someone who's into building homes, in the sense that what kind of interior products they are using. So you can get companies like Polycab, or you can get a lot of these companies. For example, there's a private company, but Simpolo Tiles is something which a lot of builders are using. I'm not saying that you can find a Simpolo tile in the private market and then invest. What I'm trying to say, it could be a listed company, like Kajaria was discovered maybe 10 years ago. So this is the kind of thing which you can do. And people always tell me it's very difficult. आप कैसे scuttlebutt कर सकते हैं, team नहीं होगी तो ये. I agree.